to know that I don't condone Roger's conduct. And I hope Psycho Stu can forgive me, myself. You know, it's hard for me to talk about it, but you know, I'm just keeping 100. You know, I feel bad about what happened to Psycho Stu.
You don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, hey, I think that's a little. Oh, you don't show it? Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it? Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My bad.
This Rampage Jackson story just went all the way left in the worst way possible. Man's looking at a $40 million lawsuit after a so-called wrestling stunt spiraled into one of the nastiest beatdowns ever caught live on stream. What happened that night had everybody shook, but it ain't just about some fight going wrong. We talking about a former Army vet laid up in the hospital, wild accusations of attempted murder, and Rampage getting dragged as a failed father while an internal firestorm brews that could snatch everything he's built. And trust me, it don't stop with Raja throwing punches. Nah, it runs way deeper. Behind the hospital reports and lawsuits, you got promoters running shady setups, Rampage pointing fingers at racism in the media, and even streamers like Myron refusing to throw dirt on Raja's name live on air. Man, the whole situation is straight up messy, dramatic, and way bigger than anybody thought when the cameras first caught Raja storming that ring. And before y'all start jumping to conclusions, let's be clear. This ain't no random street brawl. What went down is about to touch Rampage's career, his bag, and even his legacy in MMA. So let's break it all the way down. Hey, so boom, here's where it started. On August 23rd, 2025, Rampage Jackson, Rampage's own son, pulled up to the Knox X Pro Wrestling Academy in LA, where they had a show popping off. At first, everybody thought he was just chilling, maybe there to watch. But nah, since the cameras on his Kick live stream caught him lurking backstage talking about how he was going to get his lick back on one of the wrestlers. And that wrestler? None other than Stuart Smith, better known in the ring as Psycho Stu. Now, Stu's a retired Army vet, somebody who used wrestling to cope with PTSD. But when he stepped in character, he cracked Raja in the head with a beer can, and that's when everything took a dark turn. See, in pro wrestling, that's just part of the game. It's called working the gimmick. But here's the problem. Raja wasn't no trained wrestler, he's an MMA fighter, and he took that beer can hit way too personal. What happened next had the whole crowd horrified. Raja stormed the ring mid-match, slapped Psycho Stu to the mat, mounted him, and unleashed over 20 straight punches to his face. Witnesses say Stu was laid out cold after the slam, and by the time security finally ripped Raja off, blood was leaking out of Stu's ears. But it ain't even stopped there. Raja stormed out the venue still on his live stream, ranting and bragging like he just got his payback, chest out, talking big. But just minutes later, that flex got hit with reality. He got the call saying Stu had flatlined right there in the ring, and Raja's response? Cold as ice. No panic, no remorse, just double down on the same tough talk like he ain't just possibly ended a man's life in front of hundreds of people. For the fans, this wasn't just some wild fight. It straight up looked like attempted murder. One fan even wrote, "If this wasn't staged, what Rampage Jackson's son allegedly did is disturbing. Even if he felt disrespected, blindsiding somebody in a wrestling ring like that was reckless, not defense. Now his freedom could be lost." And by that point, LAPD was already knee-deep in the investigation. Stu was fighting for his life in critical care, and Raja's career, along with Rampage's whole reputation, was starting to unravel in real time. So naturally, once the story blew up, everybody was locked in, waiting to hear what Rampage Jackson himself had to say. Rampage's first move was to jump on X, trying to clear the air before the media completely buried his son. He posted, I want to clear up the misinformation about my son, Raja. I've been confirmed that the wrestler, Stuart Smith, aka Psycho Stu, is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his payback in the ring. I thought it was part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and had no business being involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and the well-being of Mr. Smith. But even with that statement, fans weren't sure if Rampage was defending Raja, blaming promoters, or just trying to save face for the Jackson name. Rampage wrapped up that first statement saying, "That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened, but my main concern now is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf and to Kick for the situation." Yeah, that was Rampage stepping in as peacemaker, admitting his son was out of line, but also hinting at how shady the setup might have been. But just a couple days later, he switched gears and came back with a way more emotional post. "Say what you want about me. Twist my words all you want. Hopefully none of your kids fuck up bad enough to have people judge your parenting. When all is said and done, when justice takes place, no matter what happens, I'll still be a parent that loves all his kids. I'm allowed to complain about the racism. 2 human beings were involved in this incident, but hey, it's the internet. Be yourself." Now this time, Rampage wasn't just trying to defend his son, he was firing back at the critics, pushing back on the media spin and making it clear he felt there was a bigger, uglier narrative at play. He was defending himself as a father and pulling race into the mix, but that only turned the backlash up louder. Commentators like MMA Guru and others called him out, saying he was dodging accountability instead of facing what really went down. Still, Rampage's stance stayed solid. He's ashamed of what Raja did, but he ain't about to abandon his son while the whole world is labeling him a criminal. But once the dust started settling, things only got uglier for Raja. What kicked off as a wrestling stunt gone wrong ended up sitting on the LAPD's desk as a full-blown criminal case. Police confirmed they were called to the Sun Valley venue that night, and now Raja is officially under investigation for what could turn into felony assault charges. And here's the real bombshell. Stuart "Psycho Stu" Smith's family and legal team are lining up a $40 million civil lawsuit. They're claiming Raja's reckless attack didn't just leave Stu with life-threatening injuries, it completely ended his ability to wrestle and make a living. Stu's wife, Contessa, came forward saying this incident didn't just wreck his career, it's threatening their family's entire financial survival. But let's not forget, Stu ain't just some random guy in the ring. He's a U.S. Army veteran, still battling PTSD. And for him, wrestling wasn't just a side hustle, it was therapy. Now he's laid up in a hospital bed with shattered facial bones, missing teeth, and doctors warning the road to recovery is going to be long and brutal. And here's the thing, the lawsuit ain't just about covering medical bills, it's about making an example. Promoters are getting dragged into this mess too, cause Raja himself claimed organizers told him to go ahead and hit Stu as part of the storyline. If that's true, then this whole thing wasn't just a fight gone left, it was a setup that spiraled completely out of control. And that's where things get real murky. Cause if Raja's claim about the promoters is true, then the blame spreads way beyond him. But at the end of the day, the lawsuit is still aimed square at the one who threw the punches. And lawsuits like this don't just drain the accused, they drain the whole family. Fans are already speculating that Rampage's entire fortune could be on the line. One fan even tweeted, "Rampage Jackson and his son gonna have zero money after these lawsuits are done." On top of that, Kick permanently banned Raja's channel right after the stream, cutting off one of his biggest income streams. And if LAPD decides to move forward with attempted murder charges, Raja could be staring down years behind bars. Meanwhile, Stuart "Psycho Stu" Smith wasn't just another wrestler taking bumps for the crowd, he's a U.S. Army veteran who found pro wrestling as therapy to cope with PTSD. That ring gave him a stage, a brotherhood, and an escape. And that's exactly why this attack hit so hard. It didn't just shatter his health, it ripped away his outlet, the one thing that gave him peace. And that's the story, y'all. Messy, tragic, and way bigger than just a fight in the ring. Rampage's legacy, Raj's freedom, and a veteran's future are all hanging in the balance. This one's far from over, so you already know we'll be watching how it unfolds. If you're rocking with the breakdown, make sure you like the video, share it with your people, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next update. We got more stories, more deep dives, and more real talk coming your way.